The two-time series champion does not have an opportunity to be a three-time champ this year. Paul Wolfe, Joey Logano, their playoffs run ends right now.
You know, I think Paul and the guys did a good job executing the strategy of what we need to do today. Just didn't get quite enough there at the end. Fell off a little bit too much that last run.
You're going to go through some highs and lows, and it's going to happen quick, like week to week. Sometimes day to day, right? I mean, you could have qualified awful yesterday, and you're like, oh, and then you have a good race, and you're like, yeah, you know. See, you ride these waves of emotions. I think there's a few ways to handle that, and it probably depends on who you are and how long you've been doing it. But I think a big thing to always remember is that there's always something bigger, right? There's stuff that matters more than sports, right? Whether and keeping things into perspective, whether it's your family, your kids, whether it's what's going on in the mountains of North Carolina, all those things are way bigger deals, right? And people are going through way tougher times than when you're knocked out of the playoffs. Oh, boo-hoo, right? You're still driving a race car for a living. Still pretty cool. So I think that kind of keeps things in check for me. My wife helps me with that as well, because I don't want to minimize what we do either, because yes, it is our life and it is very important, and it shouldn't be minimized, but I think it's also at the same time you got to keep life in perspective. Our foundation is all about second chances, because I believe that people with a second chance will act completely differently, or completely different when you have a second chance in your life or in your job or in your whatever, right? And maybe that's all coming full circle right now.
Alex Bowman's car was deemed to be too light, so the 48 car was disqualified after the Roval, which means Bowman is now out of the playoffs, and two-time champion Joey Logano is back in.
I don't believe in luck, so I know it's not that. But there must be something mindset somewhere within someone, somehow, like us together, something's different. But hey, we'll take it.
I mean, he was pretty excited, as you could imagine, and but ultimately we were, like I said in the meeting stand, we were prepping. We didn't prep any different coming here, knowing that we were racing, you know, for the Drivers' Championship as well. We were putting our best cars we knew how to put forward for ourselves in the 12, and my team continued to prepare just like that.
Honestly, you got to roll with the punches. Like it's so simple, but you just got to keep going. And I know it's like some of the stuff sounds so simple to say, but it's hard to do. There's been, don't get me wrong, like I'm human. Like I ride the waves, and when it's down, I'm down. Like there's no doubt. But the get back up attitude is the most important thing to have.
Every race, you have to be able to adapt ultimately. Like, you know, like how today was going. Like you try to run through scenarios, but ultimately you're adapting on the fly.
In a race car, I can focus 100% at the task, and I guess just when you're putting it all together, you know the scenario, right? And people say, when did it hit you? Well, you know the scenario you're in, it hits you immediately. That's why that raw emotion when you get out of the car is there, because you knew it was on the line, and we were able to make that happen. So what it's like at the time, I don't know how to explain it. You're focused at the task, and you see what's there, and you're just getting it.
Joey Logano is the last into the round of 8. Joey Logano wins Las Vegas. He's going to Phoenix. That's what two-time Cup champions do. They rise to the occasion.
Championship for again, baby!
Like I said, you know what you're racing for at that moment. So when you cross the line, you know you're racing for a championship in Phoenix. And when you start the season, you go to Daytona, they ask me every year, what's the goal? And you've asked me 16 times, what's the goal? The big trophy. Nothing else matters. I don't care how you get there. I don't care how many wins it takes, how many top 5s, how many top 10s. Who cares? I want the big trophy. And we have an opportunity to do that. So the job's not done, but I am proud of getting there. That's something to be proud of for sure, but it's all about getting the big trophy.
You're just focused on it. It's such a big moment, right? And it means so much, and you know, winning you know, our second championship for Joey and myself and the team is obviously huge, but a third would really put us in a whole nother level. So we're excited for the opportunity, and I believe we have one of the best teams in the garage. Do we always have the best race cars, fastest race cars? Maybe not. When it comes down to covering off on every aspect of what it takes to put a weekend together, I'd put my team up against anybody, and that's what we're going to be ready for when we go to Phoenix.
We will talk a little bit about what happened here in Vegas. We'll talk a little bit about Miami and a lot about Phoenix and putting together the task there. There is nobody in this field that I'd rather go to Phoenix with than our 22 team. They are very experienced. They're very well thought out in scenarios like this. When you give us time to think things through, we can really gain a true advantage. And I think we've proven that over the years. When we have the time, we can really make sure that when we show up to Phoenix, we bring heat, and I feel really good about it.
So I'm excited. I mean, there couldn't be a better place for us to go to race for a championship right now than Phoenix.
Right, as we have a fantastic chance of doing something big for the 22 team, right? For us, for Penske, for our fans, for our sponsors. Whether it's your first one or your third one, they all mean the same, and it all affects so many lives. From a bonus perspective, right? I mean, it's a really big deal. So, we really want to make sure that we get there and make the most of it, because I've been in the championship before. I think it's our sixth time, and we only won 2 of them up to this point. So out of 5, we only won 2. So I know the feeling of not winning, and it hurts probably even more making the championship 4 and not winning than it does not even making the championship 4, because you're just that close and you know what that's about. And I know that just drives me to not have that feeling, right? I love the feeling of winning, but I hate the feeling of losing even more. And so we'll use that to give ourselves an advantage.
Hi, I'm Parker Kligerman. For more access like this from Pit Road, be sure to click and subscribe to the Motorsports on NBC YouTube channel.